Howdy, thank you for joining me today on Press Day.
Thank you for having me.
Exciting times. You're my third interview in the last almost 2 weeks. An exciting time for you, man. I want to know, like, for you as a creator of WondLa, how did it feel to actually see this as an animated series? What went through your mind?
It's first of all, I love animation. I'm a huge fan. I mean, I grew up on Disney. I love Hayao Miyazaki, Studio Ghibli movies. I love all the Pixar films, DreamWorks. I'm a fan of all of them. And the thing is, that audience of those types of films, that's kind of the same audience I'm trying to reach with my books. So
Right.
it kind of made sense to actually adapt WondLa in this medium. So I was incredibly excited, and the Skydance team is made up of some of these amazing legendary animators from Pixar and Disney and DreamWorks. So the idea of getting a chance to work with these amazing storytellers was really exciting for me.
Mm. How much were you involved, like, with the adaptation process for the series?
Very involved for the last 4 years. I've been working with them. Lots of conversations, a lot of meetings. I'd fly back and forth occasionally, and just from the casting to the sitting in on recording sessions, story sessions, and look, they make changes. It's a process. It's a collaborative, very collaborative
Right.
process. And if there were any departures, the phone would ring and there'd be a conversation about it, and we would talk about it and talk it through and like, okay, here's the reasoning, here's why we're thinking. Do you have any other ideas? What do you think? So, that just showed me the respect they had for the source material and for me as a
Mm.
storyteller. And you just don't always get that. Yeah, to be honest with you, I've had very different experiences with other adaptations, and I just think the end result is much richer for having my involvement and my love and
Mm.
passion coupled with all of their amazing passion for this.
Amazing. Now, as a creator, also, like, was there like a specific element or theme from the book that you wanted to make sure was in the series?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great question because you're like, as an author, that's the most you can hope for. Will the themes remain intact? Will the
Right.
characters be true to who they are in the book? And I'm so excited to say they are. WondLa was written, 15 years ago. I turned 40 at the time. My daughter was 2. And I was thinking about how much the world had changed in the 40 years I'd been around, and I wondered
Mm.
what the world would be like 40 years from then, when my daughter was my age. And I was thinking about mankind's reliance on technology. I was thinking about our disassociation with the natural world and animals and plants that we share the planet with. I was thinking of found family, of people I'd found in my life that meant as much to me as my brother and sister,
Mm.
and that connectivity, that we're all connected. We're all doing the same thing on the same planet. And all those, it's really a contemplation. The books don't answer, they don't give any advice. They
Mm.
just explore those themes and concepts through all 3 books. And it's left to the reader, like, what do you want to take away? And I think the storytellers understood that, and it excited them actually, that this is not a message driven story. It's just a
Yeah.
story that is about those concepts, and they're all present in the series, which is amazing.
Right. You mentioned planet, and I wrote this down because I didn't want to forget to ask you the world of Orbona. Like, was there any challenges trying to translating this world like from a book to the screen?
Well, I had, it's a it's it's a real example of how the collaboration works. So when I would do
Okay.
the illustrations for the books, I have references and inspirations that I was looking at. So I
Mm.
shared those. So specifically, like there's the wandering forest, right? It's this forest of weird trees and carnivorous plants. And I showed them, these old dinosaur prehistoric posters and books that I had that I loved as a kid. And I said,
Okay.
I wanted to feel weird like this. And then I sent them the clip from the 1982 Jim Henson film, The Dark Crystal. There's a scene in a forest there where everything's kind of eating everything else. And I said, this, when I was 10, like, this blew my mind. I loved this. So however you can animate something like this, go nuts. And I
Right.
think they responded to that, the animators and the crew and the production designers, and then they were able to take it as artists themselves and figure out ways to present it on the screen. And so I think that's kind of how a lot of the conversations went and how a lot of the adaptation worked. Like, here's what I was looking at, here's what I was trying to accomplish. How do we do it in your medium.
So how much were you involved now with the casting choices of the characters?
We had, I remember this was pretty funny. We had a meeting early on, and they were like, "Do you have voices in your head?" I go, "I have a lot of voices in my head, but specifically when I'm writing, they were like, "Do you know what they sound like?" And I said, "Yes, some of them, not all of them, but
Mm,
like Rovender's grumpy and he's and I kind of gave like examples of actors that I thought would work. And they found Gary, who's terrific, Gary Williams. Teri Hatcher had been involved with the project from almost the beginning. I'd heard her do voice work in Coraline, and begged and groveled to get her to do the audiobooks way back when. So was so excited to have her continue her association with the WondLa and being the voice of Muthr. Now Jeanine Mason, who's the voice of Eva 9, this is seeing her record for the first time was very pivotal, right? A lot of people ask like, "Oh, were there any moments that are memorable or that really meant a lot to you?" And when you're in a recording booth and you're recording their voices, it's like a piece of art like this. It's all they just share. This is what the character looks like. This is who you're going to be. And Jeanine starts delivering these lines, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, like this is like the character is coming to life. The hero, I feel for the hero. I'm
mm,
feeling it." And that is precious, right? Because if we don't care about the main character, I kind of check out, right? Like I don't care how cool
right.
the story is, but if I'm not feeling empathy towards what the character is going through, and especially in animation where it's a disembodied voice that
Mm.
you're adding a computer character to, and I just thought she did an outstanding job, really did, all the way to the end. Like I feel like that final episode, she kills it. Like she really does a great job.
That's awesome. And we got 3 seasons coming up with this. It's great.
Yep, all 3 books are going to be adapted.
Amazing. Tony, I want to thank you for giving me for yesterday on press day. Good luck with this series. And, I can't wait to see what the reaction is from the viewers.
Hopefully everyone loves it.
Thank you. Have a great
Take
day.
care. Yep.
Bye.